everybody. Um, just checking to see. It seems I am looking a little bit crooked. Let me just check. You can hear the background music, right? There we go. That's better. There we are. Okay. Good. I like it. When I like it, I am comfortable and I can chat better. Good. Okay, I think internet might be a little slow. Unfortunately, there's nothing I can do with that because I'm using Wi-Fi. I'm unable to connect directly with a cable because I'm in a boarding house. So, I don't have access to do that like I would if I were in my house. Anyway, there's a lot to talk about. I don't know how long this video is going to be. It might be a tiny one or a long one. I just never know. Where can I start? Well, I think we all heard the anecdotes. So how about we start with that? Because it's fresh in my mind and I have to get going to get my brain warmed up. It's what usually happens. So welcome. I didn't say that. Welcome to Galactica Musings. I'm Elizabeth. So we're going to talk first about the anecdotes of the step downs. Oh my God. Okay, so I'm going to share my point of view of how I saw this from a matrix from the matrix. I don't know if you could it's the right way to explain it, but you really need to understand who these people are. You need to understand what's going on here. If you're just arriving, I think you're a starseed who's just woken up, as they say, that you just realize that this is a matrix, that there are other people outside, and there are step downs, and there is technology, and there is immersion, and the whole lot, and the cabal, and the federation, and the weird things. If you don't know any of that, if you are unaware of that, and you just listen to this video, you think this is just someone who is playing a joke on you. It's just a girl somewhere just entertaining people with science fiction, literally. But I'm not that person. I'm not someone who doesn't know what's going on here. So I understand. I mean, there are some people that are saying, well, these people, these Hashmalines, they've had experience where they've gone against really regressive races, and they fought, and they've been at war, and they've really seen a lot, and they are trained. So, for example, for them, especially at the end, just before they were taken away, they boarded their spacecraft. This is going to sound so science fiction to people. That's why I don't share this with friends and family. It's no point. They got scared. I mean, some people say, how can they get scared just with screams? I mean, it was just screams. They didn't see anything because they scanned the surroundings. And Mary said, well, they are aware of the astral side, the lower astral side. And in some way, in some aspects, I was surprised that they got so uncomfortable with that. I don't know if they were scared, in a sense that they had to fight. They were frozen. I don't think that they would have acted, It's young people. I don't think they were scared in that regard. But I think maybe they know much more than we do, which made them be very uncomfortable. To me, things have happened to me here on this earth, but they happened, these uncomfortable things, and hearing noises and things, happened when I was small, when I was a child. And yeah, they happened when I was a child, uh, 12 years old. And then it happened when I was in my early 20s. Yeah, early 20s, 19, 20, something like that, where I encountered weird things going on in a house. But after that, for the rest of my life, I haven't had any experience that are uncomfortable, that you're scared, that it just scares the bejesus out of you. I haven't had that experience. And here I was. I heard this. I played this video as soon as I woke up, because it goes live when it's midnight my time. So as soon as I wake up, I know there's a video, and I play it. Sometimes I play it right away. So here I was on my bed, in my bed. I was just sitting there, my hair all crazy, wearing pajamas, kind of awake, kind of asleep. And I had my my socks on, and I was listening to it, and I'm thinking, these Hashmalines, they got scared, and it just, I mean, it wasn't for my point of view, it wasn't much, I think, for them to get so scared. So what do they know that we don't know that they got so scared of? Because I went to the desert for like alone. I roamed through the desert alone in my car for a whole month. And I would just pitch my tent anywhere, where there was absolutely no one, because that was the point. I wanted to be completely alone. I put up my tent and I slept in there comfortably. I could actually sleep really well. And sometimes in the middle of the night, I will go out and walk around the desert. I would just walk in the middle of the night. And it was fantastic. And I loved it. And maybe twice I got kind of a little scared, but I didn't get scared. And I was alone. And to be honest, people were saying, "You're really brave." And I'm like, for you to be brave, you have to be in a place where there is something that's going to do something to you. But it's the desert. There's nothing there. So, I wouldn't go to the savannah where the lions are, roaming wild. Now, that would be, someone who is, brave. But in the middle of the desert, people are like, how can you do that? There's no one there. There's nothing there. But people still get scared, and I think it's a more of a what you think you're gonna find that scares you. If you hear a sound, you can relate it to, I don't know, just the sound of a rock that's rolling down a hill, or you can think it's a monster coming down the hill. So maybe they had additional information about this world and they know it better than we do. Maybe we don't see it. So maybe they have this additional information that is why they got so scared. That's the only explanation I have. Because, I've been in similar situations and I haven't been scared. The Hashmalines are gonna hate me for this video. If they ever see it. if I ever need to be rescued, they're not going to come. This is not a good thing. Um, but my idea here of doing this video is to be as candid as I can possibly can, and obviously protect myself, as Mary said. Don't share everything, keep some mystery. And so I always try to go to the limit of what I can share. And the most I can share is my honest, as honest as I can, to tell you how I'm feeling, how I think about this. Especially, I put myself out to tell you this. It can be sometimes I contradict what they say. I contradict Mary. Maybe I don't agree with it. But it doesn't mean that I don't believe this, or I think there's something wrong. No, I think it's healthy to have your own perspective and share it. And that's okay. That enriches us. We grow. It's good to share these things, I believe. I mean, I disagree with, I'm sure everybody can disagree with everyone. I mean, I disagree with my parents, you know. I disagree with my friends. I disagree with Mary. I disagree with everyone. And I also agree with my parents. I agree with Mary, and I agree with my friends. So we have different points of views. And the idea of these videos is to share that point of view that I think many people will not share. I think they will not share the part where they maybe question something, not to question to in a negative way. I'm not going to question this to say, because I can come in here and say, hey, look, here I am, a woman alone in the desert, and I didn't get scared. So how can a man like that, with all this technology, can get scared in the middle of the, of hearing screams? That is not my intention. That's not what I mean at all. It's just a point of view. It's just my perception here. And I think when I hear and listen to someone's perspective and opinion, I learn from that. I really enjoy it, because it shows me, and I think, that makes sense. That's interesting, because from that point of view, maybe I can learn something about a subject that I never thought about. And that could probably make me change my mind. So it's always interesting to find a different point of view. And if I, and I'm thinking to them, the Taigetans, the Hashmalins, they're probably listening to this, and they probably understand where I'm coming from. I don't think they're going to get mad. I don't know. I sometimes joke about it and say, they must hate me for this, or they just think I'm insane. I don't know. But to be honest, I think they also kind of, I think they also learn from us, learn something more about this planet, learn more of how people tick down here, how they behave. And I think it also might help them. I don't know. They say, okay, so that's how they feel. That's how they see it. That's interesting. So I think it's a two-way thing for them and for us. It's a two-way, we learn, we share. And that's why I love that Mary is constantly sharing this, and especially sharing things that you wouldn't share with someone, these anecdotes, especially saying, these Hashmalins, they were uncomfortable, and they were, white as a sheet when they got on the spaceship. Maybe some people will not share that, but by sharing that, we kind of start to understand what might be going on here. That's really important. As far as I'm concerned, that's quite important. When Mary was describing these Hashmalins, blue eyes, blonde, long hair. Especially one of them had really long hair and long beard, blonde beard. I was thinking if they are coming down here somewhere in Finland, Germany, I'm thinking, yeah, they'll be okay. But if they're coming down in Mexico, no, so I'm thinking, I bet they're coming down to the bank in Mexico. I bet they are. It's just, they're not going to blend in. No matter how much they try, it's just not going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen anywhere in South America, to be honest. I haven't been to all these countries in South America, but I don't think they're going to blend in. They might blend in the Nordic countries in Europe. Yeah, they can blend in there. So maybe they should have a bank there. Maybe they do, and I'm just imagining that they were in Mexico. But I don't know. I have a feeling they were in Mexico. It's weird. Maybe because Mary's YouTube account is then it says Mexico there. You know, the country says Mexico, and she receives donations in Mexican pesos. So I'm thinking she has a bank account in Mexico, right? I'm sure the banker thought I'm dealing with the mafia. A weird, really weird mafia. I mean, a 16-year-old girl that they answer to these four big white guys answering to a girl, 16-year-old underage girl who owns everything. The only explanation is mafia, right? It's quite funny. It's quite funny. Were they were what were they doing? I mean, they obviously didn't go down to get money out. They could just use the card, right? Your debit card in the machine and get money out. Or did they need to get like a lot of money out? Like, did they have a bag and 1 million, 2 million? Was that what they were doing? What were they doing? They were that was strange to me. I was thinking, what were they doing in the bank? Yeah, I would like to know. I'm so curious. So that was unusual. So you guys think they were in Mexico? Let me see if I'm okay. If I look okay here. Oh yes, I look fine. All right. Okay, so I'm gonna read here. So where do you guys think they were? Maybe you guys know more than I. Hi Kian, how are you? Welcome. Jaime, hello. Lita, how are you? Más allá del éter, how are you? Okay, let me see. I'm not gonna get too close. I don't like getting too close. Oh God, I really have to clean these glasses. Oh yes, Gosha dyed her hair pink. That's a bit late. I did it already, and it's come out. Yeah, she's gone pink. She's definitely gone pink. Frank Hill, hey. Oh, thank you. Mexico, it's easier for them, isn't it? Yeah, I think they were in Mexico. I think they were. No, I think they were in Mexico. Of all the places in Mexico. interesting because if they're in Mexico, if they went down to Mexico, and they must have quite a bit of restrictions. I don't think this tells me, kind of common sense. I don't know, for me, that if you had a more be able to, if you had like more freedom here to do things down here, and have this freedom, you would choose a place where you didn't look so different to everyone else, right? So if she had been able to open a bank account in a Nordic country, she would have done that, because I think she would have realized that having people come down, they are already at risk from the cabal, from us here, but also at the bank, if you don't do things correctly or it's something weird, they can make it difficult for you. Especially in Mexico, or especially in countries in South America. Maybe in Nordic countries, they are much more easy, like in New Zealand, for example. It's easier here. They're not suspicious like in South America. So I think if they had more freedom, if they were able to do things easier here, they would have had a bank account in a Nordic country. It makes sense, right? Not to get so much attention. So the fact that, I'm assuming, they have a bank account in Mexico because she's accepting Mexican pesos. Maybe that shows that they don't really have that much freedom of how they can do things down here. Because sometimes we imagine, well, they just have a spaceship. They can just either go to China or go to Australia or go to France, any place without any trouble, right? And they can just think, which supermarket in the world are we going to use today to get, I don't know, whatever. Which market are we going to go in the world to get our, I don't know, carrots, steak, whatever. So I don't think they have that type of freedom. We believe they do, but I don't think they do. So they must be quite restrictive about it. They must have restrictions, which kind of makes sense of why they are so nervous coming down here. I mean, Naishara didn't even want to come down because she felt uncomfortable coming down here. Isn't it interesting that we actually live here? And they're scared to come down. They are more at risk than we are, Isn't it crazy that the irony doesn't escape me, that they are come down here and they are more vulnerable than we are. So we have some type of, how can I say this? We are safer humans. We are safer here than they are, but we are constantly bombarded by poisons, astral, lower astral, all these rules in society. So we are basically slaves down here, but we have some type of safety that they don't have. It's insane. It's amazing. The cabal does take care of their slaves. We are slaves. They take care of us. I say that as a joke, okay? So don't think of yourself as a slave, because that's going to be quite detrimental to your frequency. But at another level, we are slaves. Crazy, right? Okay, so what else? So those anecdotes were good. It would be fun to have those anecdotes every Wednesday. I'm sure they have many. There's a lot to learn from anecdotes. It gives you a really good overview of what's going on, and you can kind of get additional information from that. I'm always looking for additional information, basically because I want to understand better what's going on, and understand better myself as well. The more I understand them, the more I understand myself and how I can live better here in this matrix, right? Because the matrix makes you believe that life is this way, in a certain specific way. But when Tibetans, we get information from them, they say, look, we live this way. From another perspective, we can come out of our constant manipulation and say, aha, I don't have to make that same decision I've been making. Sometimes you just make decisions without knowing. It's like automatic, and we keep doing the same thing. And then we say, why are things not working? It's because you're doing the same thing over and over again. But if no one points it out and says, look, we do things this way, that's when you can get a different perspective and change the way you do things. So you start behaving differently because you understand it. You understand, you have a context. That's why I enjoy all this information and then the anecdotes, because it gives you a context. You know, it gives you a point of view. And you understand it better. I think it's incredibly important to listen to all of it. And it's important to have a variety of information coming from Mary. So you have the anecdotes, you have technology, you have news of what it's going on at in the orbit, what the Federation is doing, how the races interact with each other, what the cabal apparently does. So all this information, along with these light-hearted videos, you know, they do round this the knowledge that we get this, because we cannot be just machines or computers that we have information input, because we're not robots. We are human beings. We are social beings. We have our private life. We have our friendships. We have our partners. We have families. You know, we have we cry, we laugh, and there is this human side to us that's important. So it's interesting to hear these anecdotes and to just smile and try to understand something that maybe it's difficult for you to understand. So I think it was it's so great. I find these videos wonderful. I really love them. So thank you for sharing that with us. I really appreciate it. And I appreciate, because I'm sure the Mary had to, you know, ask the Hashmalines if she could share this information with us. And thank you, Hashmalines, for saying that yes, we appreciate it a lot. I appreciate it a lot. I really like it. So thank you so much. Please share more. Yeah. Okay, so let's go to the previous videos. There is a treaty that was signed recently with the Pleiadians, Urmahs, and Antarians. Wow, that's huge. That's big, because the Galactic Federation will have to back up and start explaining. And I think there's going to be I think this is going to cause the Federation to act in a weird way. I'm talking about the regressive side of the Federation is going to start doing weird things because they're like rats. You know, you discover them, you shine a light on it. And what do? They run away. They start doing things, they start climbing the walls. And I think the Federation, the regressive, is going to start doing weird things. They're going to start running away. And I wonder how that's going to be seen down here, how we are going to experiment that ourselves. I said, I wonder if it's going to trickle down to our lives, the effects of that treaty on the regressive Federation. They control the earth. So I wonder how that's going to trickle down to our lives, everyday life. When you go to work, when you go to the supermarket, when you start planning going on a trip or whatever, where are we going to see this? Maybe we're not going to be able to say specifically, but I think overall we're going to feel something different, and I'm curious to see what that is. Is it happening already? Is it going to happen? So that's going to be interesting to experience. If we didn't know anything about this, I don't think we would have any idea. We would just say, oh, things are different now. They're going funny. But I think now we can explain it. When you are in this society, you see things, you're like, that's weird. What's going on in the world? You think, what the hell is going on? And you can't explain it. Well, now that we are aware of what's happening with the Federation that's controlling this, I think we'll be able to see how it reflects. We're going to see how it works. So this is interesting because knowing what's happening there and how it reflects down here, it gives us an advantage of how we can adjust our lives to make them easier. Because we know more what's going on. We know where it's coming from. We know what's happening, the reasons for it. And I think that helps us to find a better way to adjust here. It's an advantage for us to have this information. So it's really good to know more about it. And that's why I think it's good to listen to other people, listen what they have to say. And it's great when they give their opinion, when they are able to give their opinions, no matter what that is, And I think it's all for our advantage to live here, to make it easier. I think that's what it is, to make it easier. So the treaty came about because of the weird things that are happening in the Federation, with the way the Federation, the Galactic Federation, is behaving. It's regressive. So the races have come together and decided to protect themselves. So they're uniting. And the great news is that Antaria, which is not part of the Pleiadian part, the galaxy, they decided that they want to join. Now, that is great news. I thought that was fantastic, that there are races outside the Urmah and the Pleiadians that are realizing what's going on and they want to join. That's fantastic. I thought that was brilliant. So I think that's really good news. And also, I found it interesting and it was nice to hear. I don't know about you guys, but it's so nice to hear how the things they do there. I don't know. I don't know if you feel like because I don't remember. I cannot say to you, oh no, I remember using these maps and the frequency maps and going from one planet to another. No, I cannot tell you I actually remember, but I feel like I have done that already. I've done it. So the treaty is also they're sharing information that comes from space exploration. I just love hearing that, space exploration. Maybe that's why I'm an archaeologist here. Maybe that's why I went to the desert for a month. I just love exploring. I just get so excited. They share detailed data of new races, whether they are interstellar or not, about unknown animals and plants. How wonderful. And full sharing of space frequency maps. That's interesting. So they know where they can go. They have a frequency map. If they want to go to a specific place, they need to know the frequency of it. Which I found that interesting, isn't it? If you don't know the frequency of a place, how can you get there? So sharing that information, it's really fabulous. Barter and trade as well. But the main idea here of the treaty is to promote the unity and military cooperation for protection due to the obscurity of the Galactic Federation. That's basically the reason for this treaty. And they're not stupid. They're also going to join forces in other ways, sharing all this information, additional information, of course. The stronger you are, the better you are. So I think it's fantastic. I'm going to say hello. I'm getting thirsty and I have tea here. It's pink. It's pink tea. It's boysenberry something. Let me put my glasses on. Apparently Mexico is easier for them. Apparently. Yes, Frank. Kian, are there forests in Mexico? That's what I was going to ask. I think more like South America. Maybe they were in Brazil. Peru, Chile. Oh, no, not Chile. Maybe. It could have been in Chile, Peru, Bolivia, anywhere in South America. That's true. Where in Mexico do they have forests? I'm sure they have some forest, right? I was thinking, I don't know if you guys are aware, because maybe you guys know, the more investigate. I don't know, maybe I shouldn't say this. Okay, I'm not going to say this because this might tell people where they are. Oh my God, I'm not going to say it. Just in case. You might figure it out. Oh my God. I got really hot just by thinking about it. Doing something detrimental. Okay. Frank Hill, he says, Alanin was living in Mexico too. Maybe Mexico offers them things that we don't know about. Who knows? Huh? You're right. Yeah. Wasn't Anna in Mexico as well? She was from Mexico, Anna, wasn't she? And wasn't Anika was also from Mexico? Because Anika, she had a Mexican mother. She was rescued because she was going to be aborted. So she was basically, she grew in a in a med pod for 9 months, and she was born in Taigueta, but her mother was in Mexico. What is it about Mexico? Huh. There's something about Mexico, isn't it? That's interesting. How do I put about this? Something about Mexico. I have no idea. I've never been to Mexico. There must be something there. Okay. So that's it. That's all I have to say. That's all I have to share. I don't know what else. There's a lot more, I'm sure. So yeah, if you think you have an idea of why Mexico, let us know. That's interesting. Why Mexico? I wonder sometimes if it's a bad thing. I'm just thinking out loud here. Thinking out loud. I wonder sometimes if it's a bad thing to try and know and try to figure out more about them in regards to whether they're in Mexico, whether they are, which supermarket they go to, what bank they're going to. And I think that some of us would be able to figure it out. And it might not be a good idea to say it, to share it. They are aware of that, are they not? So I wonder at times if that's a good thing. Because I mean, we do it in the most innocent way, I guess. We do it because, I don't know. For example, if someone tells me, oh, they went to this supermarket, and they pointed at the map, I don't know. I think it gives us a sense of, I don't know. It's just a nice feeling, to know where exactly. So I think if we do those things, we try to figure out where they are. It's because we get that feeling of just nice to know. I don't know. It's just nice. So I think we do it because we are after that nice feeling, to know where they are. And we can, just the idea that, for example, I cannot go to the moon. I cannot go to the Viera or go up to their spaceships and so on. I can only roam around the Earth. So to know that I can actually be, if I could, at the same supermarket they were going to, or the same supermarket they go to, and I could be there at the same time. Just thinking about it, you just get excited and you have that warm, fuzzy feeling. So I think we do it for that reason. Well, I think most of us anyway. You're always going to have mean people around, but for us it's that way, at least for me. But I'm thinking it might be a bit dangerous for them. Yeah, we don't want that. So if you figure it out, don't say anything. Okay, guys. So that's it. So thank you, everybody, for being here. Thank you for this chat. And thank you for chatting with me. So I am now saying goodbye, and we'll see each other in the next live. So take care. Bye bye. See ya.